we are back with perhaps what has always been the most entertaining educational show on our nation's station. It's the Antigua and Barbuda Social Security Board Junior Science Quiz.
Do you know what Social Security Reciprocal Agreement means? It means if you are moving to another country within CARICOM, you can take your Social Security benefits with you. Now, a key feature of the CARICOM Reciprocal Agreement is that residents have the ability to move and not lose their Social Security credits. Plus, you can access long-term benefits once you satisfy existing criteria. Reciprocal agreements serve to ensure that your Social Security credits within the English-speaking Caribbean and Canada are secure.
Contact the Social Security Office and ask for more details on the reciprocal agreement.
And good evening, everyone. Good evening. I'm feeling good this evening because we are back with perhaps what has always been the most entertaining educational show on our nation's station. It's the Antigua and Barbuda Social Security Board Junior Science Quiz. I'm your moderator, Ashworth Azil, and it's a pleasure to be in your homes once more. This evening, we are bringing you three wonderful team of young people from the Sir Novel Richards Academy, St. Anthony's Secondary, and the Antigua Girls High School, who will all be competing to ensure that they can make their way onto the second round. In our opening ceremony, you would have learned of the changes to this year's competition. Certainly this time around, we are looking for the two top teams from the first round to make it on to the second round. So we'll have some healthy competition this evening. Let us meet our competitors. I know they're eager to introduce themselves and to represent their schools this evening. We'll begin with the Sir Novel Richards Academy. We have Mr. Kindred Roberts, who's the captain for his team. Good evening, Kindred.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Are you feeling good this evening?
Pretty much.
Yeah, you think you'll walk away with the first victory in this year's competition?
I'm pretty sure.
He sounds quite confident. He sounds quite confident. We also have Zamora Murray. Good evening, Zamora. Alyssa Charles.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. And the standby member, Gianna Caliste. Good evening, Gianna. Let's move on to the St. Anthony Secondary. Miss Cameron Jackman. I'm sorry, Cameron Jackman.
Good evening.
Good evening to you, Cameron. Jade Roach.
Good evening.
And Jade is the captain for her team this evening. And we're also saying good evening to Miss Savannah Greenaway.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. Standby members, Aidan Byers and David Dumith. Good evening to you both. From the Antigua Girls High School, Miss Janelle Lambert.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. Gabrielle Dazzle.
Good evening.
Good evening. Did I pronounce that last name correct, Dazzle?
Dazzle.
Dazzle. You know, we had a little fight off screen. I should tell you, we had a little fight off screen. So she's allowed to correct me if I get it incorrect, all right? And Miss Dazzle is the captain for her team this evening. We also say good evening to Danella Lewis.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. Standby members, Nikaira Nanton. And the Antigua Girls High School seem to have something with the Yaras today. So we have Nikaira Nanton and Tikaira Richards and Sarah Allen. We say good evening to all of those standby members for the teams. Of course, we cannot have this encounter unless we have some fair-minded persons. Not that I'm unfair, but we must have fair and impartial members of our jury panel. We call them our judges this evening. From the Antigua Girls High School, we say hello and good evening to Miss Colleen Douglas. From the St. Anthony Secondary School, Miss Ariana Walker. From the Sir Novel Richards Academy, Mr. Mary Brown. And from the Ministry of Education, Miss Trishelle Wetherill. We say good evening to all of our judges and the other members of the technical team who are there keeping time and ensuring that our buzzer systems are working. So, we are ready, are we not? Good. So in this first round, we will see our individual buzzer round. Here we will have a total of 2 questions posed to at least a member of each team. The first person to buzz in will be allowed to answer. And if at any point during the reading of the question I'm interrupted, I will give you an opportunity to answer that question. If, however, your answer is incorrect, we will have to give the other persons a full reading of those questions, and the first to get to buzz in will be allowed to offer an answer. Clearly, if you answer correct, your team scores 5 points, and no point is deducted if you answer incorrectly. Are we okay with that? So I'm going to ask the first individual from each team to stand with buzzer in hand, and let's get this evening's encounter underway. just so that our viewing audience can be satisfied that our buzzers are working. Let's just give them a little go. Thank you very much. There you have it. And there you have it. Viewers, you must remember that once an individual buzzes in, the other buzzers will be shut off, okay? So there will not be an opportunity for a second buzz thereafter unless they are reset. So we are ready. First question to this group. Give one word used to describe water, fats, carbohydrates, minerals. Antigua Girls High.
Nutrient.
Nutrients is the correct answer. Very well. Give them a round of applause. Give her a round of applause. Good. Question number 2, the final question for this set. Which vital life process involves inhalation and exhalation? St. Anthony's Secondary.
Breathing.
That is correct for 5 points. Give them a round of applause. Thank you very much. You may have your seats. We move on to the next representative from each team. With buzzers in hand, we move to your first question. What natural physical process can contour plowing prevent? What natural physical process can contour plowing prevent? The clock, it seems. And that is time. Thank you very much. The correct answer there would be, I heard it, soil erosion. That's correct, soil erosion. Soil erosion. Question number 2 for this set. What is the scientific unit used to measure weight? Antigua Girls High.
Is it the kilogram?
That is not the answer we were looking for. Any other member? What is the scientific unit used to measure?
Newtons.
Thank you very kindly. Thank you very kindly. Give her a round of applause. We now move to our final set in this round. During pollination, where are pollen grains transferred to? Antigua Girls High.
The stigma.
That is correct. That is correct. And the final question here in this round. What is the hole through which light enters the eye called? St. Anthony's.
The pupil.
Pupil is the correct answer, and that has brought us to the end of round number 1. We'll have a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Do you know what Social Security Reciprocal Agreement means? It means if you are moving to another country within CARICOM, you can take your Social Security benefits with you. Now, a key feature of the CARICOM Reciprocal Agreement is that residents have the ability to move and not lose their Social Security credits. Plus, you can access long-term benefits once you satisfy existing criteria. Reciprocal agreements serve to ensure that your Social Security credits within the English-speaking Caribbean and Canada are secure.
Contact the Social Security Office and ask for more details on the reciprocal agreement.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So after our very first round, where these competitors were getting comfortable and racking up a couple of points for their team, here's how it lines up. In round number 1, St. Novel Richards Academy, 5 points. St. Anthony's Secondary, 10 points. Antigua Girls High, 10 points. So it's quite a close encounter still. Moving into round number 2. This round is our clicker round, something certainly that you've grown familiar with. In this round, there'll be a total of 4 multiple choice questions, of which you will have 10 seconds to answer. Your answers can be selected using the keypad in front of you. You may change your answers at any time during the 10 seconds allotted to you. A correct answer in this round will give you a total of 5 points. So we have an opportunity to score quite a bit here in this round. Please, I invite you to pay attention to the screen in front of you where the question will be placed. Question 1 in this round. Which of these is not a laboratory skill assessed in CSEC science? Which of these is not a laboratory skill assessed in CSEC science? is time. Thank you very much. I trust you've all been able to key in your answer. And the correct selection there would have been? Would have been? B, correct. And why not ORR? What is ORR? For the benefit of those who are viewing us now, what is ORR? Observation. Woo. Observation, recording, reporting, yeah? Measurement and evaluation, MM, planning and design. Yes. I know you know them, I know you know them. But you were all correct if you selected B, which was AD. I do not know that one. All right? In the diagram, question number 2, in the diagram, which letter represents the patella? Which letter represents the patella? And that is time. Our correct answer there was? D. The correct answer there was D. And what's the common name for the patella? The kneecap. The kneecap, that's correct. Remember, we're also teaching our viewing audience as well, all right? Good. So they need to be confident that we know what we're talking about here. Let's move then to the third question in this round. Which of the following is likely to be true of an open circuit? Which of the following is likely to be true of an open circuit? And our correct selection there was? See, some persons are a little hesitant to offer an answer. Is there a brave soul? The correct answer was C, that the switch is in the off position. All right? Question number 4, and the final question in this click around. Please pay particular attention to the image that comes along with this question. What does the symbol shown below mean? What does the symbol shown below mean? Everybody knows that one. Yes. And that is time. So if you did science in first form, you would know that as part of the safety rules, you will see this nice poster placed somewhere around your science lab. And it means what? That the substance is? Corrosive. That is correct. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Please, audience, give them a round of applause. Let's allow the judges to do their tallies and see how well they did in that round. We'll be right back.
A sickness benefit is payable weekly to an insured person between 16 and the pensionable age who is absent from work because of a certified illness not due to occupational injury. There are minimum qualifications that must be met before you make a claim, so please contact your Social Security office to find out more. Most importantly, the claim must be made within 21 days of the illness and the Social Security medical certificate completed in full to ensure timely processing.
Contact the Social Security office to have your questions on sickness benefits answered.
And we are back after the click around. Here's the rundown. In round number 2, so Novel Richards Academy, Kindred, you were able to amass a total of 30 points in that round, giving you a grand total of 35. St. Anthony's, 45 points in round number 2, giving you a total of 55. Antigua Girls High, 50 points in round 2, giving you a total of 60 points. And we're now moving into our third round. This is what we refer to as our free response round, or better known as our explanation round. In this round, we'll ask one question to each member of the team. Each question will be read twice if you desire. You have a total of 10 seconds to begin to answer. And if your answer is right, you're able to gain 10 valuable points for your team. If your answer is wrong, the team can provide an effort there, and if you can give us the correct answer at that point, you will gain 5 points for your team. Is that clear? Good. So at this point, we will say goodbye for just a little bit to the Antigua Girls High, and the St. Anthony Secondary. And so there we have it, Kindred and Company. We'll begin with you. And the first question in this round. State with reason whether or not a carnivore can be a primary consumer. State with reason whether or not a carnivore can be a primary consumer.
A carnivore cannot be a primary consumer because it needs its energy. It gets its energy from consuming other animals in the surrounding area.
Judges, will we accept that? I think he might be missing a very important element here. I'll lean on you. Yes, so we'll turn it over to the team. So perhaps your team can give you some assistance there. The question again, state with reason whether or not a carnivore can be a primary consumer.
And
did they come in time? Please continue.
And primary consumers eat plants.
Okay, so I need you now to put it all together for me.
A carnivore cannot be a primary consumer because a primary consumer eats plants and carnivores need their energy from other animals.
I think we can give you 5 points for that. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Teamwork makes the dream work, yes? That's what they say. Question number 2, Zamora. Your question. Convert 154 centimeters to meters. Convert 154 centimeters to meters. Continue.
1.54 meters.
1.54 meters, that is correct. I heard a breathe a sigh of relief there. And you seem to have started a little bit there. What were you thinking about? And how did you arrive at your answer for no additional points, by the way?
Well, I thought, sometimes it's multiply or divide, so I was kind of puzzled.
All right, okay. And we know, of course, that you have 100 centimeters in 1 meter, so therefore if you divide by 100, it's 1.54, right? Very good anyway, very good. Question number 3 in this round. Alyssa, your question. Explain the function of the cell membrane. Explain the function of the cell membrane.
The function of the cell membrane is to protect the other things in this cell.
I think your voice faded a while ago.
The other components in the cell.
She says to protect the other components in the cell. I'm not certain that that will be enough to gain you 10 points, so we'll turn it over to your team. The question once more, explain the function of the cell membrane.
The cell membrane.
I'm sorry, but I heard the bell. I think you might have missed the opportunity to come in. Judges, did she? Timekeeper, what are we saying? Did she miss the opportunity? Yes, I think you might have missed the opportunity to offer an answer within the specified time. I'm very sorry, Alyssa. Very sorry, team. But you did very well in that round, gaining 2 of 3. So we will hear from the St. Anthony Secondary School as they make their go at these 3 questions. Okay, Jade and Company, are we ready? Welcome back. Just to remind you of the rules, you will have an opportunity to, each of you will have an opportunity to answer a question in this round. You'll have a total of 10 seconds in which to answer, in which to begin offering an answer to that question. If your answer is correct, you will gain a total of 10 points for your team. If your answer is incorrect, I'll give you an opportunity to receive some assistance from the other members of your team. And if correct, then you'll be able to gain 5 additional points. Is that clear? Good. So we will begin with Ms. Roach. Ms. Roach, your question. State with reason whether or not a carnivore can be a primary consumer. State with reason whether or not a carnivore can be a primary consumer.
A carnivore cannot be a primary consumer, as a primary consumer only consumes the producer, and producers are plants, so therefore they would have to be a herbivore.
Thank you very much, judges. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. And carnivores eat only
Meat.
all right, very good. We move on to Miss Savannah Greenaway. Savannah, your question. Convert 154 centimeters to meters. Convert 154 centimeters to meters.
1.54 meters.
1.54 meters. That is correct. Question 3 in this round, Ms. Cameron Jackson. Explain the function of the cell membrane. Explain the function of the cell membrane.
The cell membrane, it manages what enters the cell and what leaves the cell. So like during things like osmosis, it allows the water to enter.
Yeah, and she kept giving us some good information there, even beyond what we were expecting. Thank you very much, Ms. Jackman. And that brings us to the end of your round. Let's give them a round of applause. And we say hello again to the Antigua Girls High School. Gabrielle, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So as noted earlier, each individual will receive one question in this round. Each question gains you a total of 10 points if correct. You will have 10 seconds within which to begin answering that question. If your answer somehow is incorrect, we'll have to turn it over to your team, at which point the correct answer will yield you 5 points. So we will begin with you, Gabrielle. State with reason whether or not a carnivore can be a primary consumer. State with reason whether or not a carnivore can be a primary consumer.
Carnivore cannot be a primary consumer because it eats only meat.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to take it over to your team. We need a bit more information, yeah? We're going to give you some points here.
Okay, carnivore cannot be a primary consumer because it eats only meat, and primary consumers eats only plants.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And with the help of your team, you were able to get a total of 5 points for that particular question. We now move to the second person in this lineup. Is that Ms. Janelle Lambert?
Yes.
Good, Ms. Lambert. Here we have it. Convert 154 centimeters to meters. Convert 154 centimeters to meters.
1.54 meters.
1.54 meters is correct. The final person in this round, Ms. Donella Lewis. Ms. Donella Lewis, your question. Explain the function of the cell membrane. Explain the function of the cell membrane.
The cell membrane protects the substance inside of the cell.
Judges.
And gives the cell a protective barrier.
Judges, I see the judges shaking their head. Do we have agreement over there that that is insufficient? All right, so we'll turn it over to your team for some assistance. Explain the function of the cell membrane. That is time, I'm sorry. That is time. All right, so we say that the cell membrane forms a barrier between the cell and its surroundings. Okay, it allows or controls the movement of substances in and out of the cell. So there we have it. You can now breathe a sigh of relief. Third round is over. Viewers will be right back.
Self-employed persons are independent contractors, including but not limited to doctors, consultants, farmers, fishermen. graphic designers, vendors, bus and taxi drivers, gardeners, and mechanics. Self-employed persons who are also employed are now mandated by law to make self-employed payments. They can declare insurable earnings up to the Social Security ceiling of $6,500 per month. At the end of each calendar year, they may also adjust their declared earnings if necessary.
Contact the Social Security office and ask what you need to know as a self-employed person.
And oh, how time flies. Oh, how time flies. This is our first encounter in this year's series. And this evening, you're reminded that we are seeing a matchup between the St. Novel Richards Academy, St. Anthony's Secondary, and the Antigua Girls High School. We've had 3 rounds thus far. And in round number 3, St. Novel Richards Academy, you were able to amass a total of 15 points, giving you a grand total of 50 points. St. Anthony's Secondary, you amassed a total of 30 points in that round to give you a grand total of 85 points. And Antigua Girls High School, you amassed a total of 15 points, giving you a grand total of 75 points. So please give them all a round of applause. I tell you what, given the nature of the beat the clock round, it is fair to say that this encounter is still very much open. Very much open. So very few points separate the 3 teams, and we will see just which 2 teams will emerge as joint winners this evening, moving on to the second round. So we say goodbye for a moment to St. Anthony's again and the Antigua Girls High School. You will have 60 seconds in which to answer as many questions as possible. If you do not know the answer, you may invite me to pass, at which point I'll move on to a new question. Unless you offer an answer or ask me to pass, I will have to wait on you, at which time you lose some valuable seconds. Yes? Remember, you need to close that gap between yourself and the 2 other teams. So let us get ready for our beat the clock round. Our 60 seconds begin now. What is the chemical symbol for sodium?
Pass.
Where in the male reproductive system is sperm produced?
Testes.
What is the source of energy for all food chains?
Primary. Pass.
What disease is caused by lack of vitamin C?
Scurvy.
True or false? Plants lose water through their leaves.
False.
What is the SI unit of mass?
Pass.
Which type of circuit has only one path for electricity to flow?
Pass.
Is the whale a fish or mammal?
Mammal.
Which state of matter has no definite volume?
Water.
Give the common name for the larynx.
Voice box.
What type of simple machine is a flight of stairs an example of?
Pass.
Which organism is responsible for spreading dengue fever?
Mosquito.
At what temperature does pure ice melt?
Room temperature.
What part of the body contains the retina?
Eyes.
And that is time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You're reminded that you'll have 60 seconds in which to answer as many questions as possible. If you do not know the answer, please invite me to pass. Unless you offer an answer or you indicate pass, I will have to wait, at which time you lose some valuable seconds. Is that clear? I invite you to speak up loudly so that our judges can hear you. It is a team effort, so all members of the team may assist you, but we'll only be listening for your voice. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Good. So we are ready to begin. Your 60 seconds begin now. What is the chemical symbol for sodium?
Na.
Where in the male reproductive system is sperm produced?
Testes.
What is the source of energy for all food chains?
The produce.
What disease is caused by lack of vitamin C?
Rickets.
True or false? Plants lose water through their leaves.
False.
What is the SI unit of mass?
kg.
Which type of circuit, has only one path for electricity to flow?
A series circuit.
Is the whale a fish or mammal?
The whale is a mammal.
Which state of matter has no definite volume?
Gas.
Give the common name for the larynx.
The trachea.
What type of simple machine is a flight of stairs an example of?
An incline.
Which organism is responsible for spreading dengue fever?
A mosquito.
What temperature does pure ice melt?
100 degrees.
What part of the body contains the retina?
The eye.
Is chewing an example of chemical or mechanical digestion?
Mechanical.
Thank you very much. There we have it. Give them a round of applause. Very good effort. Welcome back, ladies. Gabrielle, I see you've taken your seat in the middle, which means that you're going to be answering this evening. Very well. You're reminded that this is a team effort. You will have 60 seconds in which to answer as many questions as possible. If you do not know the answer, please invite me to pass. Unless you offer an answer or indicate to me to pass, I'll have to wait, at which time you lose some valuable seconds. Each correct answer in this round will give you a total of 10 points, I believe. Those are some valuable points that we all could do with this evening. You will have 60 seconds. And your 60 seconds begin now. What is the chemical symbol for sodium?
Na.
Where in the male reproductive system is sperm produced?
The testes.
What is the source of energy for all food chains?
The sun.
What disease is caused by a lack of vitamin C?
Scurvy.
True or false? Plants lose water through their leaves.
True.
What is the SI unit of mass?
Kilogram.
Which type of circuit has only one path for electricity to flow?
Series.
Is the whale a fish or mammal?
A mammal.
Which state of matter has no definite volume?
Gas.
Give the common name for the larynx.
Voice box.
What type of simple machine is a flight of stairs an example of?
A ramp.
Which organism is responsible for spreading dengue fever?
Mosquito.
At what temperature does pure ice melt?
100 degrees Celsius.
What part of the body contains the retina?
The eye.
Is chewing an example of a chemical or mechanical digestion? You may answer.
Repeat the question.
I cannot repeat, unfortunately. I think Gabrielle is trying to buy an extra 5 seconds from me, yes?
No.
And I believe we are out of time. There we have it. We'll have a word from our sponsors, and we'll come back with the final scores in this, our very first encounter. Let's give all three teams a big round of applause for their efforts this evening.
A sickness benefit is payable weekly to an insured person between 16 and the pensionable age who is absent from work because of a certified illness, not due to occupational injury. There are minimum qualifications that must be met before you make a claim, so please contact your Social Security office to find out more. Most importantly, the claim must be made within 21 days of the illness and the Social Security medical certificate completed in full to ensure timely processing.
Contact the Social Security office to have your questions on sickness benefits answered.
And thank you very much, viewers, for staying with us. I know there were many of you who were digging through your libraries, pulling out those old science books, trying to get familiar with some of the questions as they were being read. And some of our students were also refamiliarizing themselves with some of the concepts as they were answering along with us. I can imagine that's what you were doing at home right now, and I'm sure I'm correct. But we have some scores. In this, our very first encounter in the 2024 series, Antigua Barbuda Social Security Board Junior Science Quiz. Sir Neville Richards, I see Kindred smiling at me. In round number 4, you're able to amass a total of 30 points, giving you a grand total of 80 points. So I was incorrect earlier when I said that each correct answer in this round gives 10 points. It's actually 5 points per question. All right? So for those of you who are doing the math at home, don't throw stones at us. It's actually 5 points per correct question in round number 4. St. Anthony's Secondary. You were able to amass a total of 50 points in that round, giving you a grand total of 135 points. Antigua Girls High School. You were able to amass a total of 60 points in that round, which means that we have a tie this evening. Both St. Anthony's Secondary and the Antigua Girls High School amassing a total of 135 points. Please give them a round of applause. It means that these two teams will be moving on to round number 2, and so we wish to congratulate all of you for a wonderful display this evening. You have restored my faith in humanity. And that's a little dramatic, no? That's a little dramatic. But no, I'm being entirely truthful when I say it was quite a delight having you this evening. You have represented your school well, all of you. So at this point, we wish to give the captains an opportunity to express a few words of gratitude to the persons who might have been instrumental in their preparation for today's encounter. We will begin, as we have been for the entire evening, with Kindred, and then we will move on to the St. Anthony Secondary.
So I would like to give the biggest thanks to my teacher. She got us prepared for this competition in less than a week. And I'd also like to say thanks to my teammates, because they helped me a lot when we were practicing. And most of all, I'd like to say thanks to my principal, because she had confidence in me to do this competition. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Kudos to you all. We hope to see great things from you guys at the St. Orville Richards Academy. Hope to see you back in future competitions. Yes? Fantastic. St. Anthony Secondary.
I would like to thank my teacher for preparing us all, my principal for allowing us to join this, Ministry of Education, my teammates for support, and God for helping us get through this.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ms. Roach. Antigua Girls High School, Ms. Dessel.
I'd like to first thank God for helping us retain the information we learned and for being by our side through the whole competition. I'd like to thank our teachers, Miss Douglas, Miss Fletchman, Mr. Lewis, and all the rest. Also, shout out to our teammates in the audience for helping us. Sarah, Nikaira, Takaira, and Kiara, Jada. I'd like to say it was an honor competing with you guys. You guys did very well. And we look forward to playing with you guys next time.
All right, thank you very much, Gabrielle. Well said, all of you. So viewers, here we have it. You're reminded that in this year's competition, we'll have a total of 3 encounters in the first round, each comprising of 3 teams. The top 2 teams will move on to round number 2, where we will have encounters of 2 teams each, comprising that particular second round. And so it's been a pleasure, certainly it's been a pleasure coming back into your homes again this year, and for you facilitating us. We want to thank our sponsors, the Antigua and Barbuda Social Security Board. We want to thank our executive producer, Miss Alicia Knowles, within the, I know I'm marrying her off. I think I'm going to get in trouble, yes? So Miss Alicia Knowles, thank you very much, within the Education Broadcasting Unit, and all of the other technical persons from ABS and the Education Broadcasting Unit, as well as our judging panel this evening for helping to ensure that we could maintain a very transparent and fair encounter. I've been your moderator, Ashworth Azil. Until we come your way again next week, good evening and God bless you.